What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Against All Odds podcast. I'm here with Ben. Ben, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. I'm just going to start off like I have been the last few podcasts. Rapid fire questions to get into it. Yeah. Whatever comes on the top of my head. and then we'll go into your story about how you became a pro. Sound good?
Sounds good.
So, age.
24.
Full name.
Benjamin James Morris.
Position.
Centre forward.
Favorite sport besides football?
Golf.
Favorite sport to play besides football?
Golf.
So you shot last time, you shot at 75, right?
Yes.
The last time you went out? That's crazy.
Yeah, that I played, but the worst thing is I was disappointed with it.
Really?
Yeah.
What's your handicap, do you know?
Well, here comes the question. Back home, it's like 10.8, but I haven't played competition for like 2 years or so it hasn't changed.
Okay. So, I mean, if you're shooting, what do you think, like a 7?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I'd say around there. Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Because I want single figures for sure.
Yeah. Favorite dessert?
Chocolate brownies with ice cream. That's
Vanilla ice cream?
Yeah, vanilla, yeah, for sure.
Vanilla bean or just normal vanilla?
Nah, just plain vanilla.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is your favorite team to support?
Chelsea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Favorite team in the championship?
Ipswich Town.
Favorite team in League One?
Oh, I have to go with Portsmouth, probably.
Okay, Portsmouth.
Yeah. I like the history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know a player, Paddy Lane, there?
Yeah, I've heard the name. Heard the name.
I've been talking to him just on like DMs and everything.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good guy. It's just so that's my League One team now too. Yeah. Also Wickham Wanderers.
Oh yeah, Wickham. Yeah.
Ryan Tafazzoli. Have you seen his YouTube videos?
Oh yeah, I've seen YouTube. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been like, they almost got promoted last year.
I know. Them leagues are so tough.
Yeah,
it's so tough.
I know, because it's like I was looking at Ipswich. Ipswich is in second place right now, right?
Yeah,
I think they're tied on points.
Yeah, second place. Yeah, tied on points. Yeah,
but if it stays like that, they'll get promoted.
Yes, I believe so. I think their goal difference is okay. Yeah,
but yeah, they already played like 40 something games.
Yeah, they've got 4 more games to go now.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, 46 in a season.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah,
because I mean, in USL we played 34, and that seems like a lot.
That does seem like a lot, but yeah, it's just the relentlessness of going Saturday, Tuesday. There's so many weeks where they just do that.
And that doesn't even count all the preseason games, all the exhibition games, the friendlies, like FA Cup. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Awesome. Okay, so a few more questions and we'll jump into it. Okay. Let's do, who's your favorite golfer?
Oh, it always changes, but it's probably Rory McIlroy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want him to win the Masters then?
I do, because I want him to win all 4 majors. So,
who's your favorite footballer?
Favorite footballer? As a Chelsea fan, I loved Eden Hazard.
Yeah, he is crazy.
It's just his way that he gets the ball and dribbles, and I don't think anyone else can do it much. Really.
Yeah, Messi is like the only other one that's similar. Do you have a player that you like to watch that you feel like you have a similar play style to?
Someone that I used to watch, that people told me to watch when I was younger, was Jermaine Defoe.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Just like small striker, his movement's good, and he was kind of just always in a place to score goals.
Yeah, I can see that. I always like talk to a lot of people about that, because I think it's interesting about like who your favorite player to watch is, and then like who your play style is. Yeah. It's like, obviously I like to watch Kyle Walker, but like, I mean, I'm fast. I can run like 36 kilometers an hour. but you know, I'm like 34 kilometers an hour.
Yeah, I'll give you it. I'll give you it.
So I got to find somebody that's a little bit slower than Kyle Walker or Alfonso Davies or somebody like that. So I'm like, Ben White's my guy right now.
Yeah. He's doing well.
Yeah, he's doing really well.
Very well.
Really well. Favorite movie?
Oh. I like Fury.
Fury.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what was Brad Pitt, right?
Yeah, Brad Pitt, yeah. I like a gun movie.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why.
What's your favorite comedy?
Comedy. Step Brothers.
Classic.
Yeah.
Classic. I watched that for the very first time with my high school girlfriend's parents.
Mm.
That was a mistake. That was a mistake. That was a mistake.
Thinking about it, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of jokes in there, especially when I was like 16.
Oh, yeah.
It's a little awkward. They took it. I mean, they were super cool about it. They were laughing and everything, but I just felt so uncomfortable.
Oh, I can imagine.
Yeah. So lesson learned. Okay, let's do favorite vacation destination.
Vacation that I've been on.
Or, yeah, that you've been on.
Probably Portugal.
Portugal.
Went with my family, played golf with my dad.
Is your dad a big golfer too?
He was. The last few years has tailed down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Portugal, I've heard, is like the most underrated country to go vacation in.
Because it's always like back when I was in England, the summer, obviously the season's different. So you're off in the summer months and you want to go somewhere warm. So, and England's typically not the warmest. So,
yeah, you probably aren't having much of a suntan in Colchester, huh?
No.
And then the last one is favorite or your dream destination, dream vacation. Where do you want to go?
I want to go to Australia.
Okay, Gold Coast.
Yeah, definitely that side.
Yeah, that'd be sick. That'd be really cool. It's just so far from, especially from England.
Yeah.
It'd probably be like 20 hours.
I think, you basically spend the whole day traveling.
That's crazy.
I'm pretty sure.
We went to the Maldives for our honeymoon, and it went our flight was from San Diego to Chicago, which is like 5-hour flight.
Yeah.
Chicago to Qatar, which was a 15-hour flight.
Oh my.
Qatar to Male, which was the capital of the Maldives, which was like a 4-hour flight, I think. And then when you land in Male, then you have an hour flight from the capital to your island. So I think in total we counted, it was like 38 hours of travel.
Oh my God. That's one place I would go as well.
It was worth it. Yeah. We said it both. We're like, it would suck if we get there, it's not worth it, but it was 100% worth it.
You see the videos of it and think,
it's ridiculous.
Oh my God.
It's ridiculous. Australia would be sick though. Australia would be really cool. I've heard amazing things. I've been to New Zealand, but it's completely different. Like Australia's got the coast and the oceans and the barrier reef, all that. That'd be really cool. Cool. Well, awesome. Thank you for answering my rapid fire questions.
No worries.
Yeah. So now let's go all the way back to your origin. Where are you from? What's your family situation look like? Siblings, all that kind of stuff. Walk me through what that is like.
I was born in Colchester, England. And we live in a little village outside.
What's the little village called?
Okay, it's called Conan Gain.
Conan Gain?
Yeah.
Conan Gain, okay.
Yeah. So I have two older brothers. One's 26. No, one's 27 and 30 now. So there's a 3-year age group. Obviously, mum and dad. And we've always lived in the same house since I was born.
Okay. How many people are in your village?
It's definitely grown over time, but probably a couple thousand.
So small. Yeah. Really small.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. I'm picturing like the most picturesque little English village town. Is it cobblestone streets?
No, we're not quite like that. No,
it's not like that. No. It's not picturesque.
No.
What's Colchester like?
That's grown and it's growing quite like drastically. Like it was a town, now it's a city. So there's a lot more things going on there. There's obviously a team there in League Two, so the sports is growing as well. So I think so.
Cool. And then did your brothers play football?
Yeah, they always just kind of played locally because my dad ran my older brother's team until they were 18. So kind of I always grew up with football in the family. So.
And then from like, did you play any other sports? Like I know you play golf, but when it was like were you thinking that you wanted to be just a pro footballer from day one, or how'd that look?
No, because like my family's very sport orientated. So I kind of played cricket as well.
Cricket.
Yeah. So mainly
that's the worst sport. I'm gonna be honest. That's the worst sport.
Yeah, so it's football, cricket, golf. Yeah, they were the main ones we played.
Okay.
Yeah.
Football, cricket. No rugby?
Only at school. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not a rugby guy. I'm not a rugby guy. So.
I feel like you'd be good at it, though.
Yeah, I could be.
You're fast.
Yeah, fast.
Almost as fast as me. What's been, do you know your top speed this year? What it's been?
The other day, I got 33 something.
Flat. No, you said.
It might have been 33 flat.
Because I'm 33. 33 flat's my fastest this year.
I'm pretty sure. It was either 33, I'm pretty sure.
So we'll just say it's 33 flat as well, just to...
Yeah. It's a draw right now.
Because I've been talking to Ben a lot, and I think that I've been saying that we should race, and I want a box-to-box run.
Yeah. From
a standstill start, whistle blows all the way to the other box. And I think that, I know you're fast, but I think it would be a good race.
It will be a good race. We're two of the fastest in the team, for sure.
Mm-hmm. I think Lai's up there. I think that...
Alex
is, I think he's quick, but I think we both got him on the 18 to 18.
Yeah, definitely for 18 to 18.
And then obviously Reese is fast.
Oh, yeah. I think Reese is probably the fastest.
Reese is the fastest, and I think it'd be close. Lie, you and me for
yeah. There's some people like the sky's the
limit. Steve-O.
Yeah.
He's fast.
Yeah.
He's fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is actually. I hate to say it. He is. Right? He is fast. But we'll get that race going.
Maybe one day.
Mm-hmm.
One day.
So then you played cricket. You played golf. You played footy. What age were you where you're like, okay, I want to become a pro footballer?
I think it was probably 15, 16 where I kind of had to make a decision where I needed to stop playing one sport and then choose, and that's where I chose football over cricket because.
So did you play like cricket and golf competitively?
No, golf was always just like friendly, family with friends. So
how'd you get so good? You just by playing a lot?
Yeah, playing a lot. And
did you take lessons?
When I was younger, I did, but I done it when I was younger, and then I stopped, and then probably the last 4 years, I've just love it. Yeah, I just grown into it.
How many times do you play a year?
Oh, if I had the chance, I would go every day. But I play a lot.
Yeah, especially
when you get a good group of lads.
Yeah. I haven't got the invite yet, but hopefully soon.
Yeah, you'll get an invite.
Will I? You think?
Yeah.
I haven't broke 100.
That's okay.
That's okay. I'll bring the vibes.
We don't go for serious.
Mm-hmm.
It's more about.
Do you play any games? Is it like match play? Is it like best ball or scramble or anything?
Yeah, we did that a lot last year where we just switch up the games, and then we made a little game where it was me and Chris versus Maxie and Devon, but we gave them shots to try and make it fair come the end, which there was some close games.
Yeah.
Some close games.
That's cool. I like that. Yeah, it's all about getting a good group together about that. I bet for me, it's like I've always only been going like 4 times a year. Like I need to ramp up that number to have to really get consistent and get in the 90s or 80s one day.
Yeah.
But if you go 4 times a year, you're not going to improve.
No.
But I have last year, I had this big backyard. So I had the net up in the backyard and I would smack balls all the time to the net.
That's my dream.
Yeah, it's awesome. Now my backyard's too small here to do it. But, and then I had the little putting thing that you can take putts from 2 feet, 4 feet, 6 feet, 8 feet.
Yeah.
And it has a big hole and a smaller cup hole as well. So I've been doing that, but it's not the same.
No, it's not.
You know, you got to be out there.
Yeah, out there's the best.
So from ages of let's say starting playing at 4 years old or so.
Yeah, probably.
From 4 to 10, were you just playing for your local team?
It was all started locally until probably about 7, I'd say, where I started going to a development center for Ipswich, and then probably there for about a year, I'd say, but the thing is I'd have to travel 45 minutes, a couple times a week.
And in England, that's a long way.
Yeah.
Gotta put it in perspective for the Americans. 45 minutes is next door.
Yeah.
But over there, you're traveling.
Especially after a day of school and then parents taking me there. And it's like done that ever since such a young age. So
yeah.
I've done that for probably a year, and then I got invited to go to like the academy when I was 8. Yeah, I think I was 8. And that was like 2 times a week with a game at the weekend. And then probably from there, I've been at Ipswich. So
yeah. And so like, how did you get the opportunity even at 7 at the Development Academy at Ipswich? Was it just...
It was like, I was just playing locally, and then one day the guy came up to my parents and said, we'd like to invite Ben along to come train with us. And like we said yes, and ever since that day. And to be fair, the guy that asked my parents that same day still speaks to us.
Really?
So yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah,
that's really cool. Did any of your brothers play for Ipswich?
No, just they literally played locally with their friends ever since little, really.
What are they doing now?
So my oldest he's a school teacher.
Okay.
Teaches science. And my middle brother is a plumber.
Okay.
So yeah.
That's cool. And then do they still play at all, like for like Sunday league or anything?
Yeah, they still play, yeah.
That's the thing that's weird about America is like, I feel like there's such a culture in America that once you're done playing competitively, you're just done playing. Yeah. Like there is some men's league and amateur leagues, but like, I feel like it's way more common in England to you're still playing on the weekend. Yeah. You know? Yeah.
That's what it seems like. It just seems, I don't see much of the non-professional.
And there's leagues out there, but it's not as many.
Yeah.
And it's so many leagues. It's like, there's so many leagues to play in.
Yeah.
It's just so different.
Yeah. In England, there's literally so many where you can literally make a team and go and play with your friends if you want to.
You just start at the bottom of the table, right? And then you just can work your way up. Work your way up,
yeah.
I think that's so cool. You think there's ever going to be promotion relegation in America?
Maybe. I could see it coming to USL, but it doesn't seem like MLS want it.
That's the problem. Yeah. That's the bottleneck right there. Maybe in like, that's the hard part. Because if you're a club, you pay $400 million franchise fee to come into the MLS, and then you get relegated. That's not going to work. That's
like, especially when I first found out about it and all that. It's just crazy to think, all right, you're going to play in a league, but if I finish last, I finish last. Is there a reward for winning?
Yeah.
Like you get a trophy, but.
Yeah. Do you think, so this is a question I get all the time.
Okay.
Do you think that you, like the motivation to play and to win is less because of that? For me, I've played 2 seasons with promotion relegation, one in Germany, one in New Zealand. I wanted to win the same. And I know that I think at the end of the year, if you're bottom of the table, I think you can be a little bit of like giving up a little bit, but like for the most part, I just wanted to win no matter what, depending on either when I was in Germany, New Zealand, or in America.
I see, like, obviously it's all down to the person, I think. But with the overlook of it, like if you at the bottom of the table near the end of the season, like you could lose your job, and then that team goes down, doesn't want to keep you. And then you're looking for something else, where here is like, you probably could just stay another year kind of thing, which is.
The thing is though, here is like, cause I've been on teams where it's bottom of the table. Last 2 years for me were tough. And both years, both those coaches got fired and they cleaned house over the team.
Yeah.
So it's like, you don't get relegated technically, but it's still the same insecurity.
Yeah.
Of like
I see that.
The only thing that sucks is if you win the league, then
then
welcome back.
Welcome back.
Good job. You're back in the USL again. Yeah. That's interesting. We'll talk more about it too when we get to your transition, because I'm curious about how you went from England over here. But okay, so you're Ipswich from 7 in the Development Academy, 8 you did the full academy. Yeah. With the full academy, you said twice a week you were training?
Yeah, I think it was probably Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and then we play on Sunday when I was younger.
Okay. Were you doing extra training on your by yourself or with your brothers or anything?
No, well, I'd go to I would always go to their training and just kind of kick around and all that. But nothing like, at that age, I didn't think like it was serious.
Mm-hmm.
So
you're just with Ipswich, no big deal.
Like, I was just living life, going to school, then straight after school going playing football. That's all I wanted to kind of do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and did you just play like at recess and after school just with your friends all the time?
Yeah, like lunchtime and different times, like afterwards. Even go out with friends after days that I don't play and we play football. So it's kind of always in my childhood. Yeah,
that makes sense. And then you said by like 15, 16 is when it switched where you're like, I want to be a pro footballer.
Yeah, I think that was like where I got the decision where I was getting told if I was going to get a scholarship at Ipswich. And like at that age, you're like, all right, I got kind of focused, because once you get a scholarship, then you go in there every day of the week. So then it's, all right, football's 100%.
And what age was that?
So that would have been 16. I got told. And then obviously in seventh, that's the year after that, I would start my scholarship. Gotcha.
And then so for scholarship, they give you like a weekly pay, right? Like a little bit?
Yeah. Even there, you start getting paid. So from 16, I was getting, 16, 17, I was getting paid.
And you stopped going to school?
So for my scholarship, I would do 1 day a week at school. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 1 day a week where we would do a course in sports where you'd have to complete the 2 years, and then after that, done. Yeah.
Then did you have any like online stuff that you're doing other than that, or is it just that one?
It was just that. It was obviously the people would come in and teach you, but then it was basically all these like assessments online, and you just had to pass. But I think it was like you couldn't really fail it.
So rigorous. So it was rigorous. It was tough.
Quite a little bit, yeah. And the best thing is, like, if you completed it, you got money for it. So
there you go.
Yeah.
Okay. And then before you got the scholarship, the academy, it was free for you to attend?
Yeah. I never really had to, never paid. They always got given training kit every year. Yeah, it's just kind of, when looking back at it, was kind of lucky. And you see so many people don't get the opportunity, and I had the opportunity.
And then so when you were on scholarship, now you're going in every single day of the week. You're only doing 1 day of school. At this point, did it click that you're like, oh, I could sign for the first team, like I could become a pro?
Yeah, because like you hear of like the boys in the year above and saying like they're getting pros at 17, 18. And you think, all right, even because when you go to a scholarship, there's a older group already there, so you join up with the older group, so you're training as two age groups together. So like you're going in as one of the young boys, but ultimately you're fighting for everyone at that age to play.
I think that's like a big clicking moment for a lot of players is when they see the players that they're training with get like either first team contracts or opportunities to train with the first team, and you'd be like, oh, it's right there. Like that, even for me, I mean, America is very different, but like I remember for the first time going to off-season training sessions when I was in college and training with MLS guys and USL guys, and be like, oh, that's the next step. Like it clicked. It's obvious, but it's like, whoa, it's close. I'm competing with these guys, and obviously there's a little difference of like their quality, but you're like, it's close. I can actually do this. Yeah. So that's cool. When was your first opportunity with the first team?
I'd probably say I was 17 or so. And like, I think it was like on they played the day before, and then you get, go and join with the subs, cause they need numbers and that, and just do like mini games and all that. And just like, you're nervous, but you go like it's the first team. Yeah. What were your thoughts like doing that with the first team of Ipswich? Were you like, obviously you have a lot of nerves, but did you do well? How did it go? Was there any like funny moments that happened, or was it just a normal session? I can't really remember it from the top of my head. Oh, you're not that old, man. What are you, 24? Yeah. This was like 3 years ago for you. No. It's just probably like normal session, like you always just want to get that first pass, like, or the first shot on target, and you hear the "well done, lads," like keep going and that, and then it just builds your confidence, just like, and then you're just like there, knowing that you can be there and you deserve to be there at the same time.
Yeah, I always say it's like building momentum.
Yeah,
I think that's so important. Of like the first pass comes in, you have a good first touch. You connect the first pass. It's a little bit of momentum. Okay, next time you do something similar, one touch pass connects. Okay, you got a little bit more momentum. Take a guy on, hit a cross, it works out. More momentum, and then like you just want to keep on building that. Because if you have the reverse and you're doing negative momentum, you lose the ball. You're trying to do too much,
and then you
get the yell.
Get the older lads on your back, and you don't want to be in that situation.
No. So I've always said too, if like I have a really bad mistake, try to do something dumb or try to take too many players on, lose the ball, connect the next pass. Connect the next pass. Build the momentum again. So you did a good job doing that, building momentum.
Yeah, I always try to do that. Yeah, just try to build a momentum, be confidence in there, and show like the manager what I can do. And
was it a big transition going from youth, like training and playing with 17-year-olds, to now training with the first team grown men that could be 30 years old? Not that 30 is that old, but
yeah, there's obviously like the physical and the speed that they play at, and they're always, especially with first team training, there's always a purpose, and you got to try and be in that and like create your create your way of being in the session as well, and joining in.
Yeah, when I always like train with the first team or train with, because I was again in college, it's kind of training with men, but they're 18 to 21-year-olds, which is not really. Yeah. But then like the first time I trained, where it was like MLS guys, USL guys that were 25, 30 years old, it was definitely how they use their body. Like one, the speed and the physicality of it, but it's just like it was smarter. It was like so mature the way they played. And I was like, wow, there's just a lot less mistakes.
They just make it look so easy.
Yeah.
That's the thing, I think.
And so that was a big like eye-opening thing for me. So, okay, so 17 now. So you're starting to get little opportunities with the first team. When did that progress into your first contract?
So my first year of my scholarship, I actually got called up to England under 17s.
Okay.
So I went away with there, and I think I went to Portugal for like a
your
camp.
Favorite place.
Yeah. And we obviously played Portugal, Netherlands, and there was one other team. I think it could have been like Sweden or someone. Just in like a little tournament thing. So we done that, and then I came back to Ipswich and kind of had an agent at the time as well. And I just got called in one day by the academy manager and said that we want to offer you a professional contract, and I signed that like on my 17th birthday. So
really,
yeah,
on your birthday,
because you have to be 17 to sign a
I see.
professional contract. So yeah.
That's cool. How did so going even back to the U17 camp, like how did it feel to represent England?
That was crazy, because like just the thought of, all right, Ipswich is in the category 2 team, like you have all the Premier League teams and that in category 1, and you think, all right, I'm not going to get this. And there was one lad on my team called Andre Dezell, and he'd been going, and he had a lot of interest from like the Premier League teams at that age. And I just they must have been watching, and then come in one day for training and said, get called in, and they say, oh, you're getting called up to England under 17s camp. And like, I don't know how I reacted at that time, but I was just like, going to tell my parents is like, oh, they would just be so proud and everything. Yeah.
Do you remember what your parents said at all when you told them?
I think they would just say congratulations, like, well done, we're so proud of you, and like we've watched you so many years, like you can do it and all this.
Yeah, that's awesome. I remember my first U.S. men's national team call up.
Yeah.
I gotta do the camera.
Okay.
So the U17 national team and signing the contract happened in what, like a span of 2 weeks?
Yeah. It was probably like that. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
What do you think was more exciting for you?
I think at the time, looking back, it was probably the contract, because I think at that age, you think, oh, I'm a professional footballer at 17 years of age. And just like, all right, that's what I wanted to be. And kind of, I've done the first step and that.
Do you think, looking back at it now, do you think it was a bigger opportunity or a bigger deal to, which one, like for you now?
For now, looking back at it, I would say it's like so 50-50. Like, obviously it's your first contract, and then playing for England at under 17s is like not many. How many kids get to do that? And I was a chosen one. Yeah, so
that's cool. How'd you play with the U17s? Do you remember any specific games or moments? You score?
No, I didn't score at U17s. It was no, it was U17s, I think. It was not that camp though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I saw you got called in with the 17s, 18s, 19s, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool. That's big.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Did you play, who was like some of the big players that were there? Do you remember?
Mason Mount, Trevor Chalobah. They were Chelsea boys then. Reece Nelson. They were probably the biggest ones still at the top. And there's a lot of people that was just kind of below that level as well. So
do you think that those guys now that are at the highest level, do you think like they were the ones that stood out to you at the moment for being the best ones there? Was there any other player that was like, this guy's the best? But sometimes it's different. Sometimes the guys that shine there are not the ones that end up being.
Like, you could tell that they had been at a very good like club and not getting that coaching that from the top level for sure. Even at that age. Yeah, that makes sense. I feel like a lot of it's like the confidence these guys come in with. I mean, I haven't played with Mason Mount, but I feel like whenever there's a guy that comes in at a higher level, you can just kind of tell the way they carry themselves and the way they go through the session. You're like, they're experienced, they know what they're doing, they got confidence, which is interesting. So that's a big moment for you, big time. That's really cool. Your first contract, was it how many year contract was it? It was a 2 years with an option.
2 years an option. When you get that offered to you at that age, were you thinking like, were you surprised with 2 years? Were you thinking, oh, I got loads of time? Were you thinking like, oh, this is only 2 years? Like, what was your mindset with that?
I think at that age, I would say, oh, it's 2 years, got a while. But looking back at it, 2 years is nothing now. Yeah, 2 years is really nothing. Especially being at that like young age, you think, oh, you're there, you made it, but realistically you haven't. That's
just like where it starts.
Yeah,
so much where it starts.
Like the first point, and then you have so many more to go. Yeah.
What how did that first year as like a first year pro go for you at Ipswich?
It went really well. So obviously had the England as well. So but then obviously I was playing the under 18s, and that year I think I scored 22 goals across the season.
Yeah, it's a good year.
So, yeah, had a good year. So like I just could, like, when you have confidence, nothing stops you, kind of thing. It's like, it's crazy how it works. Looking back at it, you just go in to every day thinking, all right, this is my job. I just get a ball, make the runs, the ball's there, score the goals. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, not at the same level, but like in college, I had a year like that because I played striker in college.
Okay.
Yeah.
Funny story. I started when I was young. I was right back.
We switched, bro. You developed and I didn't.
Yeah.
I had a year like that my junior year where I felt like I just wasn't even thinking, and I would just go out on the field. Balls would come in. I just swipe my foot at it, shank up to the top corner. In my mind, I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what I expect.
Yeah.
And then you have the opposite years where you feel like you can't buy a goal.
Yeah.
It's just so funny how like,
how funny it works.
And you're doing all the same things. You're going through doing all the same runs. You're making all the same touches. You're training the same. You're eating the same. You're sleeping the same. And there's
different results.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. So, did you have any games with the first team your first year?
I was on the bench, but I never got on. So yeah.
How was it being in that stadium for the first time and like being on the bench with Ipswich? Like, do you remember those moments?
Yeah, it was a cup game. I'm pretty sure against Stevenage, and it's just like you walk out and it's just like, wow.
How many people do you think were in the stadium?
Because it's a cup game, there were definitely less than they normally got. So probably close to between 5 and 10. Yeah, it's hard to make a number from the top of my head right now.
What's the most people you ever played in front of?
It was my championship debut. We played away to Nottingham Forest. So I think there was 28.
Yeah.
20 out of 5.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
It's loud, huh?
Yeah. Especially their fans are crazy. Yeah. It was loud. Yeah.
I know a Nottingham Forest fan. He's crazy.
He's not there.
He's not there up top. You have to be. You have to be a little psycho.
Yeah, of course.
That's funny. Okay, so you got on the bench for a game. You were flying with the 18s. Were there any like other moments during that first year that stuck out to you, or is it just like a good year overall?
I think it was just like a good year overall. Like I just went on with my day to day and just didn't really think of too much. Just the enjoyment of going and playing football every day is it's what you dreamed of when you were a little kid.
Yeah. And did you were you living at the facilities or with your family?
Yeah. So the decision when I left school was I moved into like I call it digs.
Digs.
Yeah. Like so me and another boy, we moved in with a lady who looked after us, cooked us food, and that was like 5 minutes away from the training ground.
Gotcha. Yeah. Host family.
Yeah, a host. Yeah.
I did that in New Zealand. I had the best family.
Yeah.
Best family. It was awesome. We had 3 boys, and they're just all like love football. It was awesome. Really good experience.
Well, we got an older lady, so it was like we had each other. So we done stuff to fill the time.
Yeah. And did you move into that what age did you go to that?
So I was 16. Okay. Yeah, I think I was 16 at the time.
Gotcha. Was it hard to leave your family at that age?
Yes and no, like, because you're leaving to go and play football every day. But at the same time, every weekend I'd be going home. So it was like, I'm going there for a week, going home. But then the thing is, it was only like 45 minutes to an hour away. So from where my family lives. So it was never that far.
Yeah. So it's an easy weekend trip back home if you need to or something. Yeah. It's because I think 16, I mean, I don't think I was quite ready to do that at 16. I did it at 18 to go to college. Like I went from Oregon to California, like a long ways. But 16, I don't think I was mature enough for that.
No, for sure. No.
I was a late bloomer. Yeah. And then how did the second year, with your second year of your contract, go at Ipswich? That
was good, like, because there's 18s and then there's 23s or 21s.
Yeah.
So
there's 21s and 23s?
No. So there was a time where it was 21s, but then it went to 23s.
Okay.
So I kind of done 1 year as an under 18 and then went straight to under 23s in my second year. But like technically, first year, second year pro.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then did you make your first team debut at this second year?
Yeah, when I was 18. Yeah. Yeah.
And that was, which game was that? Was that the Nottingham Forest game?
No. So I came on, this is a funny story. At the time, Ipswich weren't doing too well. And the manager was Mick McCarthy. And the fans were like on his back because he didn't play great football. It was quite typical, like 4-4-2.
Yeah.
Hit the front. Yeah. We get forward.
Collect the second ball.
Yeah. So I remember I was on the bench and there was probably like I think there was about 8,000 fans there.
Mm-hmm.
And the atmosphere was toxic. I'm talking toxic. But I managed to get on. So looking back at it, it was like, all right, there's another dream come true, playing first minutes in the championship at 18, I think I was. It's like another proud moment that along the way.
Yeah, that's huge. That's crazy. Yeah. So just like the whole environment, you could just feel like it was.
Yeah, because like
fans were a little.
After the game as well, like there was I'm pretty sure we lost. We got they got booed, and I'm like at that stage, I'm thinking, what the hell is going on? Kind of. And then there was like, I just remember we had like a little team huddle in the middle, and there was words said which I probably won't say on here. But yeah.
Yeah. It's a weird, I feel like it would be a very weird like dichotomy, like two feelings where you have like, you made your first team debut. You're playing championship football at 18 years old, which is a crazy accomplishment. Yeah. You have all these amazing feelings and moments, but then your team loses, they're getting booed. It's such a weird environment. So it's like, it's not like, because you have your dream debut in your head where you're winning, you maybe get a goal, the fans are celebrating, you're top of the table. That's not always how your debuts go.
No.
Even sometimes I've talked to people, their first goal for their pro team or whatever is they're down 3-0. They just have to collect the ball and run back. And they're like, that's not really how I imagine celebrating. It's funny how it's not always how you imagine it as a kid. No. But still, amazing accomplishment. Got to be tons of good feelings and moments from that.
Yeah, so much.
Yeah, that's awesome. How many games did you get with Ipswich?
I think it was like six or so.
Any starts?
Yeah. So technically I think there was one more game where the manager stayed and then he left because it was just, I think it was time. And then the 23s academy manager, they became the caretaker manager. And the very next game I started against Northern Forest.
Okay.
And it was kind of like quite surreal, but it was so good that there was other boys around me that were doing it as well. So
a little bit less pressure on you.
Yeah, like you just going out there playing with your friends.
Yeah, that makes sense. And that was with 28,000 fans.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Not chanting for you.
Yeah, a little different environment.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And then so after your second year, did they pick up your option? So
I signed a new deal.
Okay.
I think, I signed a new deal at the end of that year. I think it was another 2 years an option.
Okay.
Yeah, another 2 years an option. So, and that's where obviously season finishes, come back in for pre-season. And I think I go away with England under 20s or 19s at the time. During pre-season, and then obviously we're away. I think it was 19s Euros, and I went to Finland for it. And unfortunately, we didn't get out of the group. I don't think that was at the group. Yeah, I don't think we got out of the group. We played France, Turkey, and someone else. That they're so difficult games. Especially they're like kind of typical international games. And I come back for pre-season and like towards the end, and I was obviously training with the first team at that time, and I think first game of the season comes along, I get named on the bench and everything. During the game, I come on in the second half, do really well. Then had a chance. I wish I scored. Today, I still look back at it today and think, if I scored, things could have been different. Because the week after, I get left out. I travel and then watch the game from the stand. And then I get told I'm going on loan. And this is like deadline day, I'm pretty sure. I'm going on loan to League Two, Forest Green at the time.
Yeah. Was it the Forest Green? Was it Rovers?
Yeah, Forest Green Rovers.
Okay, Forest Green. So what did the chance look like that you missed?
So I was running down the right, and then do a ball roll inside, and then I opened up on my left foot, and the keeper made a good save. It went for saved going for a corner, but I think if I went to the other, like to the far side, just would have been a goal.
Oh, you went near post?
Yeah, I went near post or tried to reverse it.
Yeah.
And the keeper saved it. But yeah, maybe the story could have been different if it went far side.
Yeah, well, that's a lot of moments like
that.
That's fun. So then the next game you got left out, and then the next game, or the next week after that, you got told that you're going on loan.
Yeah.
When they told you that you're going on loan, what was going through your head?
I was a bit confused at the time because, like, obviously I was on the bench in the first game, so I thought, oh, I might be involved during the season and that. And then I thought they said to me, it's probably best for you to go and just play games. Like at this age, trying to build my experience and see what the real world's like. So I kind of like came around it quickly thinking, all right, I can try and go to League Two and try and do really well and then see what will happen.
And then how was your experience with it there? Because it's tough
it was
to play in those leagues.
Yeah, it was tough. Like
everything I've heard everybody talk about it, it's a gritty league.
Like I kind of remember it all. Like the first day I traveled down, we have a cup game, played a game. I thought I'd done quite well on debut. We win the game, I'm pretty sure. And then it comes to the league where I'd missed the start of their season. So they were on like a really good run, and I was kind of on the bench quite a lot during the first couple of months, and coming on here and there. But I imagine actually first start, score a goal.
Really?
Yeah. And like, it was like...
Is that your first professional goal?
Yeah, it was first professional goal. I always remember it.
What happened?
I always remember one lad cut in on the right. His shot got blocked. And then the ball just kind of like all the speed of the ball just died, just fell right to my side foot into the corner of the goal.
Far post this time?
No, yeah, far side, yeah. And then ran away celebrating. Yeah.
What was your celebration? Golf swing?
Nah, not at that age.
What was your golf swing at that time?
I think I just done like the shearer with the hand up.
Yeah.
Run. Yeah, I didn't know what to do.
Shearer. I like it. When did the golf swing celebration come into effect?
Only like the last couple of years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And were you still playing golf at 18, 19? Or you
yeah,
said...
like at that age, I was like, not like I was playing, but I didn't love it then. I didn't love it then. So
yeah. I feel like for me, because my dad's a huge golfer. I've told you, like my whole family loves golf, and I hated it, to be honest, because it was too slow. Like I needed action.
Yeah.
But as I've gotten older, like I just have fallen in love with it more and more and more, and like just like the little intricacies of it, watching it, and all this stuff. And now, like I still suck, but like I love it, and especially being out there and like
especially a nice day.
There's
with the boys or the family.
Nothing better. Yeah.
Nothing better. Yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing. It just is. It's so.
You forget about everything.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
My dad goes like 4 or 5 times a week. He's in Bandon Dunes right now.
Lovely.
Yeah, he's in Bandon Dunes because I mean it's Oregon, so he's just it's only a few hours away from him, but he goes to Bandon like probably a few times a year.
That's the life.
Yeah, he just goes around. Just I'm surprised he hasn't played at Augusta. But I definitely know when I'm done, I'm gonna dive into golf.
For sure. It's like you can play it forever. It's like one sport you can always play.
Yeah, because I mean, my brother-in-law. He is like on Mimi's side, her brother is like like a +2 golfer. Oh, so good. And then on the other side, my other brother-in-law from my sister, he was a quarterback in college. And once you're done playing football in college, you don't really play unless you play flag football, but there's even less adult leagues than there is for soccer.
Yeah.
So he jumped into golf and same thing, just loves it now. They're still be athletic and do stuff. So I was like, yep, that's going to be me whenever I'm done for sure. 100%. So first goal, you got that in. Forest Green Rovers.
Yeah. And it was kind of still like in and out of the team till January. And then come January, like hadn't played much. And it was like the conversations I was having with like the person at Ipswich, like I just still need to play more.
Yeah.
And I was like, at that time, and as well with Forest Green, we kind of just came to a mutual, said like, it'd probably be beneficial for me to go back and play more football.
Mm-hmm.
I think at 18, like me sitting on a bench wasn't helping me develop as well. So.
Yeah. And then where'd you go after that?
So this is where the stories start. I come back in January. Mm-hmm. I think it was 2 weeks training. Came back training with the first team. Whilst I was on loan, the manager got sacked. Mm-hmm. There was a new manager, Paul Lambert. He was the manager. And during this time, Ipswich weren't doing very well. They were near the bottom of the championship. Mm-hmm. So there was like a few of the boys were getting kind of opportunities as well. So even when the decision came about coming back, I was like, I could have a chance. Like there's some boys getting a chance of playing in first team. Like, all right, Forest Green didn't work, but Ipswich is still here. Mm-hmm. And if I give this 100% good January, I could come part of the team and try and help out as much as I could. But here we go. 2 weeks in, we'd play in a training game, go to like push off, cut inside, ACL goes. Yeah. Well, I don't know at the time, but I feel like a pain, like a little pull kind of thing. Mm-hmm. The funny thing is I get up, physio says, can you carry on? I was like, yeah, I can carry on. Went out there for like 5 more minutes. And I was like, this isn't right. So I stopped. And then I think it was, the same day I go and get a scan, and waiting for the news was the most horrible thing ever. Mm-hmm. Especially because you hear people talk and everything, but you don't think it's the bad. You're just hoping for the best at that age.
But it wasn't.
No, it wasn't. So
that sucks.
Yeah, at the time it sucks a lot.
Did you think your career was over at that point? Like what was going through your head?
I think I had every emotion run through my head at that time. Mm-hmm. Like, because you hear the stories of people saying, once they'd have that done, that like people are finished and all that. But like the manager at the time found out, he called me straight away and said, I know people that's done this, like you can come back from this.
Mm-hmm. That's nice.
Yeah. And the thing is, I found another team to go on loan to at that time. And I was probably going to go the next week to play games. So it was, looking back, it was tough. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then knowing that you have 9 months of not playing football.
Best case scenario, 9 months.
Yeah.
But you rebounded.
Yes,
rebounded. It was probably a very tough 9 months.
Yeah, it was a grind.
Yeah.
Going in every day, doing gym, and
it's a
so slow
hard
process.
It's so hard because like I was out for 11 months with misdiagnosed sports hernias, and then I got the sports hernia surgery, but then I needed another surgery on my groin, but I did the whole rehab back. And I'm like, again, something's not right.
Yeah.
Going for the groin surgery, whole another 3-4 months to do that again. So what should have been a 6-week ordeal turned into 11 months.
Oh, Christ.
And you're just like,
you look back and think
it's so hard mentally, because it's like everything that you're looking forward to in your day is competing, playing, and then now you're just by yourself with the physio. Yeah. Everyone else is having fun doing all this stuff, and you're just going through my clamshells, the same
I'm laying on the bed doing like stim and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like
it's tough. Yeah. And it's tough. And I think the hardest part too is that like a lot of fans or people that watch the game, it's like if you're out, then the next person comes in and just the spotlight's on them. So it's like you almost feel like almost forgotten about it a lot. Yeah. It's just really hard mentally.
Yeah, it was, because like you see people your age playing where you could be playing, and you're like, I could be getting all these appearances, but they're doing it, and I'm sitting here trying to get back to playing.
Yeah.
It's just like so mentally tough. But luckily, like there was a good group had my friends around me and obviously family. And so it was like a grind every day. But once you come around the thought of it, like, obviously they tell you that you have 9 months. That's the earliest you'll go back. You just kind of get in a mind frame of, all right, this is me now. Obviously they have training every day, but I need to go in the gym, get my knee stronger, and then get back fit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then returning. Did you feel like, was it a smooth transition back? Did you feel like you were a little bit different of a player, or like?
I felt smooth. Like they said, like obviously throughout the period, I had nothing go wrong. So literally smashed every like stage along the way, and
that's good.
And even coming back, I felt good. Obviously, like the footballing technique and everything was there, but like it's just like this mental, like the speed of getting your touches, your decision making. It's like slow at the start, and then it just slowly builds and builds.
There's nothing quite like that first session back after you've been out for 11 months or however long, and you're like, this game is so fast.
I think I remember my first game, like I just played 45 minutes, but I was blowing.
Yeah.
Like, and then like even touches, like you're like just touches going away. I'm like, what's wrong with me? This is not me.
Yeah. That was my year down in New Zealand because I was coming back from that. And like, I was just like, and it was hard for me too, because the level was technically amateur semi-pro, but I was struggling with it physically. My body still was like so weak. I was still getting all these random pains as well. Fitness wise, touch wise. And I'm like, I'm never going to get back to the pro level ever again. But then, like you said, slowly builds, and all of a sudden you're back, and you're not even thinking about it anymore. You just feel like you're back to your old self.
So I'll skip along a little bit. It's like, so I get back. So it's probably November of 2019, and then I play probably like 5 or so games, and then COVID hit. So we have to bring that word back. Sorry. So then obviously all the football stopped.
Yeah.
And then obviously they were trying to get it back on, like the championship and everything, but that was during that time. I skipped some time. Well, Ipswich were in League One at this time.
Okay, so they got relegated that year.
Yeah, and then they started in League One, I think. Yeah, and obviously I was still coming back, coming back, and then pre-season starts. It's gonna go on low. It was pre-season happens, training every day, just trying to get up ready for the first day of the season. Just in training one day, set the ball back, do a roly-poly, heard a pop, and I thought straight away, I've done it. But everyone else was around me saying, no, it's not. Yeah. Like, I think I know at the time, but I don't fully know. But I always remember the phone call I got from the physio at the time, just telling me, you've done it again.
Same knee?
Same knee, yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's like, that. It's great. And then obviously I had the timeout and all the, it's just, you just can't, I can't never put into words of, because it's like I miss so much football from everything.
That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, literally, like after my 11 months, I was in New Zealand, and then I had off season. I was training with Tulsa Roughnecks in the USL, and they offered me a pro contract. And I was like, I'm back. I did it. First game of the season, we played Timbers 2. First game of the season, I felt the same thing on my opposite side. My God! And I was like, you can't explain it. Like the feeling, the thoughts you're going, you're thinking about everything. It's just, it's the worst. And I was like, my life is ruined. Like,
that at the time when you get the news, you're like, you just want to just crumble.
It's so hard,
but you just can't at the time.
Did you think about retiring at that point? Like, what were your thoughts? Like, I know you said it's hard to think about. Like for me, honestly, the second time was almost a little bit easier because I was like, I know what I can do it.
Exactly that. Yeah. Exactly that. I got through it once. I know I can do it again. and you just had all right, this very long time, you're not doing what you want to do, but you have to, I think I had the mind frame of, all right, I've done this once. I know what the stages along the way. So I can get my mind and everything in the right frame of mind to do it.
Yeah. I think I had one really, really dark day where I was like just super depressed about it. But like after that, the second time was way easier, which is funny. So another 9 months then.
Yeah, another 9 months. And then, so that brings us to probably
2021.
Yeah. I think, I pretty much miss all of that season. And then I come back in pre-season. And
then is this the second year of your second contract?
Second year of my second contract, yeah.
Okay.
So we're in that. And then it was kind of, when did I? That's right. I'm trying to work it out.
I know your life better than you, man.
It seems like you do. So I spend, just kind of like, they didn't want to rush everything. So that year I kind of just played under 23s because I just needed to play football again, get all the training, get strong, get the body in the right physique and everything. So kind of just, come February time, I get an offer to go to Sweden on loan. And this is where like I was, do I do it? Do I not? Kind of thing. It's like at that time I had obviously like 4 months left of my contract.
Yeah.
So I figured out, we worked it out. So I got my option given to me. So then I go on loan to Sweden. So that was the start of that year.
So as a little English chap, you get the word Sweden.
Yeah.
Are you excited by the opportunity? Or are you thinking, you have never really played outside the country, lived outside the country before. Are you nervous? Are you thinking, hell no? What was your thoughts when they said it could be a possibility?
I think my first instinct was, hell no. I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
But then I looked and I had to think about my, like, I haven't played. I need to go and play competitive men's football. And that's where I kind of made a decision. All right, I'm going to do it.
Yeah. And what team was this in Sweden?
They were called Gais.
Gais.
Yeah.
And what level in the pyramid?
So it was their third division. They just got relegated. So,
okay.
Yeah.
It's Allsvenskan, right?
Yep.
And then it goes to Superettan?
Yep. And then it's Division 3, which is split into South and North.
Okay. So like kind of a regional league?
Yeah.
Okay. How did that year in Sweden go?
It went good.
And their season season
is
like
runs,
America.
Yeah. So their season runs like America.
The right way.
No, the wrong way.
They drive on the right side of the road. They run their season correctly.
We're not going into this. The wrong way. So the main objective was just to go and play as many games as I could, because that's all I needed at the time. And obviously at that time I knew that I was coming back to Ipswich in obviously like November, December time. So I played like 28 games overall, got 4 goals, 3 assists or so.
Okay.
Yeah. I was playing on the left out there. So
did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I actually really enjoyed it. There were a good group of lads. Like they helped me settle in. Even the ownership there, they helped me with anything I needed. Helped my family when they came and visited. So it was a really like good run club.
Yeah. Did you have like a little apartment with a teammate?
I lived alone.
Okay.
I lived alone, but there was a lad in the same block.
Okay.
A couple of rooms away.
And what city was it in?
It was in Gothenburg.
Okay.
So it was one of the major cities.
Is that north?
West.
Okay.
Yeah, west side. below, like just it's like 3 hours from Oslo, I think.
Okay.
Norway, yeah.
Got it. Okay. I'm trying to picture it. And then did you like the city? Did you like the area?
Yeah, the area was really nice. The city was nice.
I bet summer was amazing.
Oh, long days.
Yeah.
Got warm. Not to America heat. But it was like I think looking back at it, it was worthwhile doing. That's what I needed at the time, because if I stayed at Ipswich, I was just going to be playing under 23s, and at that age I was 22, 21. So yeah,
that's cool. And that's a great body felt good. I mean, you played 28 games in the season.
Like that's the thing. After my second one, I've had nothing.
Yeah, knock on wood. Always.
Yeah.
That's the funny thing for me is like, because I post my whole story on YouTube every day, and I post you know, behind the scenes and all that stuff. And I think the hardest part about that was during that 2-year span where I, from the first groin injury to recovering from the second one, that 2 years, everyone's like, oh, you're made out of glass, you're injury prone. I'm like, I've never had an injury in my life.
Yeah.
I've never missed a training session up until this. And now I'm getting told like, and I was 26, 25.
I was the same. Didn't have any other injuries before.
And I'm getting comments saying like, you're soft and all this. I'm like, I've played every single training session, every game since I was 5 until now. And like, then I was thinking, is my body really breaking down? Has it reached its like tipping point? Like I was so confused. And I had, you know, both abdominal walls mesh put in both walls, both groins cut open. I'm like, am I going to be the same? And since then, same thing, knock on wood, but I've been feeling great and powerful and fastest guy on the team and all that kind of stuff.
Not sure about that.
But I've been feeling, you know, I tell people like, I literally feel the same as before the surgeries. It's crazy what doctors and all that can do now. And with a good rehab program and you take it seriously, all that kind of stuff. It is crazy.
For sure.
Which kind of gives you more confidence if something does happen in the future, then you're like, I can tackle that as well. It's like, it's just another, it sucks, but.
Because it feels like I've had the worst. If anything, if I get anything else, hopefully not, but should be a breeze, easy.
Yeah. So then were you lonely at all in Sweden, or do you think overall it was a good?
At times, probably.
Yeah.
Because obviously,
especially living by yourself, could be tough.
Yeah. Like I've kind of like, I don't mind it. Like I like my own space.
Yeah.
But living alone can get at times, especially when your family, your friends, you see them doing everything back home.
That's the hardest part.
Yeah, that is the hardest part for sure.
When you see your whole family get together for brunch or for a little holiday or something, and then you're like...
The family barbecue.
Yeah. And you're stuck in an apartment watching Netflix over and over again. Yeah, that's tough. I felt like that in Germany a lot because I left college and all my friends, like most of my friends didn't really play pro after. I had a few that did, but they were like all living in San Francisco or San Diego, enjoying every weekend, going out, doing all this, like going to concerts and brunches and meals. And I'm just in my mattress on the ground in Germany, watching the same Netflix shows over and over again. Yeah. And just been like making 500 euros a month. Going, what am I doing, man?
When you look back and you think, whoa, what was going on?
What was I thinking? I was just so stupid. Yeah. But it works out. Okay. And then, so you had the 9 months or so in Sweden.
Yeah.
And then you went back to Ipswich to finish out that season.
Yeah. Well, I didn't finish out the season.
Oh, okay.
Because I had a couple of weeks off after the season finished, and I went back training. And then I obviously had like 6 months left on my contract at the time. And that's obviously I don't want to be playing Ipswich under 23s. So the next step was I would find another loan until the end of the year and see if I can then kind of going into free agency. But during that time, I was just kind of looking, and there was some teams coming up, but it was like, do I want to go there? Because if it didn't work, it could be where from there, there. So I'm trying to find as many options. And then one day someone mentioned America, because there was some lads come from Monterey Bay to train with Ipswich.
My boy Chase.
Yeah, your boy Chase.
Chase Boone.
Yeah.
Shout out Chase. What a guy.
What a guy, for sure.
If you guys are listening, so Chase is my brother's age. He's my younger brother's age. And they were on the same club team, Westside Metros, growing up. And Chase would come over to my house just with my brother, like hang out as friends. And then obviously as I got older, my brother stopped playing and everything, but there's Portland, you have very few pros in the whole city.
Yeah.
So there's probably I don't know, 6, 7 of us. And so every off season you kind of group together with all the pros to do some long off season training, since we have such a long off season here, and started training with Rubio Rubin, Chase Boone, Zane, and just got really close with those guys. And Chase I still talk to this guy all the time. It's just hilarious. He's still in Monterey Bay, but he came over and you met him during that span.
So there was 4 of them that came for 3 weeks or so. And during that time, one of the coaches mentioned, what about America? And then
what were your thoughts right there? I want to know honest thoughts.
Honestly, I think I was no, why would I go there? Yeah. Kind of thing. And with me having no knowledge of whatsoever, just talking to them after saying that, and then I just have discussions with them, ask how it was going and what's it like over there.
With the Monterey Bay guys? Monterey Bay it was guys. Chase, it was the goalkeeper, right?
Yeah.
Anthony
Ciara.
Yeah.
The right back, Mo Donor.
Yeah, Donor, yeah.
And Sam Gleagle, who's at Louisville now.
Yeah.
So it was them 4. It was interesting.
Yeah.
They said good things about it, where then there's times where just go back home and research and see what's there.
Yeah, because I'm always curious about that, because from the outside, you're looking in no promotion relegation in America, where there's probably a huge stigma around it. It's got to be, I can't even imagine what that'd be like.
Conversations that I was having with my agent at the time, he was we can look into it, we can see, and there's obviously, I'm getting little sniffles for here in England, but nothing really concrete. And it was at one point I'm gonna have to kind of make a decision of what I want to do.
Yeah.
And it was getting close to the deadline where I could go, I believe. Especially from leaving I think it was the deadline day leaving England, I had to decide by, I think.
So is this January?
January, the end of January. That's where I spoke. Obviously, there's a couple of conversations, and then the coach, my academy manager, he was a really good guy, always looked after me and that. He knew Trevor. And so this is where the connection comes in.
Gotcha.
So I think he reached out to Trevor. And then from there, I was speaking obviously to Monterey as well at that time. And I spoke to Trevor as well, and we had a few conversations over the phone, and me looking at what it's all like. And funny story here. I was trying to find what kind of level it was.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure I watched your video.
Really?
Yeah. I watched one of your videos.
There we go.
On what you were ranking the American leagues to the English leagues.
I was going to ask you what your thoughts were, not about that video, but I was going to ask you about where you thought the USL Championship ranks in the English football system.
I was I found it hard to judge the leagues, but I'd probably put it right between League One and League Two.
I think that's right. What I said in the video.
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
It was
spot on, baby.
Spot on.
I know my shit.
Yeah,
because it is tough. Because obviously, I've never played over in England, but I've talked to a lot of guys who like your situation, have played in leagues in both. So that's good to hear. It's another one, and you weren't even in one of those people. You weren't even one of my sources. I got to do an updated one, and then that's what I said, because USL between League One, League Two, and then MLS probably between League One and Championship.
Yeah. Because
Championship's a good league.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah,
league.
yeah. I don't think a lot of MLS teams would survive in the championship.
Yeah.
Maybe Elliott, maybe the top, but
yeah,
it'd be tough.
It's crazy. Yeah.
I wish there was more cross league play.
Oh my, that would be, that's what I want to see.
Yeah. It'd be really cool. But obviously the leagues, the years and how the seasons stack up, it's hard.
Yeah. It's very hard.
Someone's going to be in the middle of their season.
Yeah. It's like when if they do come, like the English teams come during the summer, like the team's already in the middle of the season if they want to play friendlies and that.
Mm-hmm. So cool. So you saw my video, you said, I gotta meet this guy. This guy sounds awesome. Good personality. Sounds like the homie. And then I convinced you to come to America.
Yeah, I wouldn't say yes, but like I just tried to research as much as I could and everything. And
what were your thoughts on seeing that you could be playing on a lot of turf fields, a lot of baseball diamonds, a lot of the travel going from New York to LA, like all over the country?
So before that, I kind of, obviously you think about all the travel because you see where they play the games, and I look at the league, and yeah, it was like I made the decision with my family. Like I just had a big conversation, like if I do this, is it going to be right for me and everything? Like obviously your parents, I'm moving away from a long 8 hours flight away.
Yeah.
And just thinking, am I in the right headspace and everything to do this? And at the time I was, and then the next thing is I say yes to Trevor and I come sign for Detroit. And yeah.
Did you know anything about the city of Detroit beforehand?
Nope. And everything, as soon as I said yes, then that's straight on Google. What's Detroit like?
Yeah.
Obviously, I researched a bit before saying yes for sure. But it sounded like Trevor had everything under control.
Yeah, so. Yeah. You talked to Trevor with his experience and this team, and it obviously makes it a very easy decision for a lot of people. Yeah. That's funny. It's crazy how like footballers will do that. Like even for me, I think it was a 2-week span where I heard about playing in New Zealand I was on a flight over to New Zealand. Like it was just so quick.
Looking back at it, the decision was probably in a week.
Yeah.
I made a decision. Yeah.
Isn't that crazy that it pops up, you research, you decide, and then you're making plans to go over there.
Yeah. So, then I'm packing my bags.
Yeah.
But the worst thing is I would sign and then they say, I've got to get all the work visa. I end up don't come until I come for 2 weeks, see what it's like training and that, to like settle in the apartment and all that. And then I go back and I have to wait. Well, we didn't know how long I was going to be, but we kind of I waited 3 weeks, missed the start of the season, missed 3 games at the start of the year, and then finally get here.
It's crazy why that process is so hard. Everybody struggles with it.
Yeah, everyone. That seems like it struggles.
Yeah, but then so what were your thoughts, your first like experience in Detroit, with Detroit City? How was it similar to what you expected from all your research, or was it different in any ways, good, bad? What was that?
It was kind of all good. Like I never really had it. Like it was obviously there's things like just a different way of life from where I am back in England. So it's just like, but the Trevor, Tiffany, they just look after you so well, and at the time the boys were good. Start of the year, everyone helped me settle in. So it was like, it felt like an easy process.
That's good.
Yeah. So it was kind of, I didn't really have any trouble too much.
Yeah.
Like Ali.
Ali. What a guy. He'll be on the podcast here soon.
For sure.
He could tell his story.
Yeah, he would say his story.
Do you think, like, were you surprised at all by the level of Americans? Like, did you have a stigma, like thinking that we were going to be all just no idea what we're talking about, terrible players or anything?
No, that's one thing. Like, I've been really like I think the footballing ability in this league is very good. There's a lot of good players, and there's a lot of teams that play good football and know like how to play the game. So it's like they have that footballing IQ.
What do you think the biggest difference? It could be in the league, in the teams, or just like the city as well. Just living over here, like, what do you think the biggest culture shock has been for you since moving to Detroit?
It was the traveling and everything like that.
Yeah.
But I don't do too much dissimilar what it was back home, because like I've been in football so long, like where I know my day-to-day doesn't really change that much during the season. So you just have so much time where you're working on football, training on it all. So there's the days off, but I have time, like the teammates and everything to do things with.
That makes sense. It's just all kind of like you get in your routine.
Yeah, like it's just I'm in a routine of doing it. So many years now for well, not as many as you.
Okay, I'm like 2 years older than you. What do you think the worst thing about America is?
The pitches.
The pitches.
The pitches.
Yeah,
that's one thing. Like there's times where we'd travel and I'd be like, "Is this the pitch?"
It's crazy, yeah. Especially compared to like you coming from, I know you haven't played college over in America, but you play college and you're playing beautiful surfaces.
I hear.
Training on them, playing on a Bermuda grass, perfect. Yeah. You have like a game field, training field, it's perfect. That's the thing that I think that, I mean, USL still is a new league in the grand scheme of everything. Yeah. But I think it's going to improve a lot in the future, but that's a big thing that needs to.
I think that's the thing. It has so much potential, so much. Like, Obviously, I don't mind playing on turf pitches because I've done it in Sweden. Because like a lot of them were like half the teams were on thingy. Yeah. But like, just if there's a good, like okay turf pitch, then it's not that bad. Yeah, yeah. It's just the baseball field. Baseball's got to go.
That's the worst. Yeah, Tulsa, we played
you've experienced that.
3 years, every home game on the baseball field. And it's just like, come on. And you play the ball and it goes off the pitcher's mound and you're like, what's going on here?
Where was my first one? I think it was Memphis.
Yeah.
I walk on the pitch.
I think that's the worst one too.
And I look at someone and think, is this acceptable?
Is this acceptable?
And I was just walking there, like with my trainers on, like lifting the grass up. I'm like, this isn't safe. And then like I got Trevor behind me. Welcome, Ben.
Welcome. It makes you stronger. It makes you mentally tougher. It does. It makes you mentally tougher because then you got to lock in. The ball can go off the pitcher's mound. And you're just thinking lock in, keep on playing.
You just can't have the touch go under my foot.
Yeah. You got to be I remember last year we played at Memphis, or I think it was Memphis, and someone hit it off the third baseline and it popped up. And I'm just like, focus, pops up. Here comes the bounce, take it down. I'm like, I knew it was going to come. I knew that bounce was going to happen.
The ground's so hard as well.
It's hard. Yeah. That's the thing at Tulsa. I mean, every field is different because like Tulsa is a softer field. Yeah. And Memphis feels harder. El Paso's got a good one where it's really flat for the most part. They do a good transition with it. But it's just, it's interesting. I think that's the next thing. And the USL that really should improve is the surfaces, training and playing. But that's big investment, you know?
Yeah, that definitely.
But it will come. It will come. I got faith. The USL is growing and improving so much. I mean, you should have seen it 10 years ago.
I can imagine.
The salaries, the travel, how they treated players. Like there's just no rule. It was literally the Wild West. It was the Wild West. It was crazy. We had players driving vans like 4 hours to the games on the same day of the game. That's crazy stuff. Crazy stuff.
Yeah. That's one thing that's definitely getting better for sure. Must be.
Yeah, for sure. 100%. I know all the young guys too. I'm like, you should have seen it 10 years ago, 2014, 2015. Yeah. But yeah, it's amazing league. And I think there's a lot of potential, a lot of money coming in. So it'll be good. So then now, how did that first season, that was the 2022 season, right? No, 2023 season, right? Yeah. How did that season go for you and your transition here and everything?
I feel like the transition was good. Like I was happy playing. Mm-hmm. Obviously the team we were up and down a lot last year, but we were always stuck together and we got through at the end. So it was kind of like my first experience of American football here.
Yeah. What did you think of the fans, the Northern Guard?
Crazy.
Yeah.
Wow, I love them. Like I remember watching the video Trevor sent me the first time, looking at it, thinking it just looks like they have fun, so much fun.
Yeah.
Looks like it'll be enjoyable to play in front of, especially all the smoke bombs and everything. I kind of got that the year before in Sweden. They like doing that as well. So, but they're always so supportive, and
I love the persona they take on of like the most hated fan supporters section. Like I just love that, where it's just so gritty and like, everybody hates us. Like it's fine. We buy into that.
Yeah.
I think it's so awesome. Like I think it's such a cool thing to have. And like my in-laws were in town for the game, for our home opener, and they're just like, they were laughing at the chants. They loved it. Because they've been all over the USL. They see me play all over the USL, sure. And they were just like, this is such a cool experience. Like we wish it was a little warmer, but,
of course.
But they're like, it was a really cool atmosphere.
That's what my parents were like the first time they come. They like, you see it on TV, you think, all right, there's obviously it looks good, but seeing it in person is so much better.
Yeah,
so much better.
It's awesome. Yeah, it's amazing. I'm pumped to be here and playing for them. It's
like when we have a home game, so enjoyable. So enjoyable.
Yeah, I know. And everybody I talk to is just like, you guys got a cool setup. I wish the field was a little bigger, a little softer, but it's a cool setup. And I like that. Even like what we've talked about is just like making it to be a hard place to play.
Yeah, I think that's the best thing that I found last year. Teams do not like coming here. So we just have to make that the biggest advantage to us.
Yeah. I remember even thinking for both Charleston and when I played for Hartford and came here, you kind of almost have it circled on your calendar of like, it's going to be a really cool atmosphere, but it's going to suck. It's going to be a gritty game.
Yeah.
It's going to be a tough surface to play on. It's going to be probably terrible weather, but just, get up for it, power through mentally. And it always is like that.
Yeah.
So it's cool to be on the other side now. And then so you to coming here, did you sign a 2-year? You signed a 2-year.
Yeah, I signed it. And well, it was a 1-on-1. So it was a 1-on-1 with like an option of if I like it, I'll stay kind of thing. But then I kind of made my decision a long time before the end of the season that I wanted to stay because it was like so enjoyable and like it was just what you want in life kind of thing.
I love it. And then so you signed for this year.
Yeah.
And obviously we're going off to a good start.
Great start.
Great start. Yeah. So it's been very enjoyable for this first month or so. Definitely. And you got, you signed me and we became best friends and
best friends.
Yeah. You're going to babysit my kid here a lot. We've talked about that. She's a sweetheart. You see her down there all nice. She had her little pigtails in.
I was getting glared at thinking, who is this guy?
No, she likes you. You'll be a good babysitter. We'll work out the details, but maybe. I was thinking you babysit for free and I'll bring you home some leftovers when Mimi and I go out to dinner or something. We can talk about it later.
We can have some conversations.
Awesome. But now that brings you pretty much to today. And then like, is there anything that we didn't cover? Like any stories or anything that was like, that you were like, oh, I want to talk about or mention?
No, nothing me personally. No.
Yeah. Covered a lot.
Yeah.
That's good. So then I'll ask like a few final questions then. Yeah. What do you think has been the lowest part of your career? I think I know, but what do you think has been the absolute defining worst moment of your professional career?
Definitely I think the news of doing it the second time was for sure the lowest. I remember quickly a story. I went home after the scan and I was getting a haircut and I sat in my car, had a missed call and I called back straight away. And then I just sat there. I think I sat there for 20 minutes. Just in silence. Yeah.
I remember when I felt it on the second side, on my left side this time, playing Portland Timbers 2, my parents were in town for the home opener and we went out to dinner and brunch the next day. And I was just quiet. And I'm never quiet.
No, you're never quiet. There must be something wrong.
If I'm quiet, something's going on.
Yeah.
And my mom is just like immediately, like even during dinner, she's like, what's going on? Like, what's up?
Yeah.
What's going on? And I'm like, I didn't want to say, like, I think I did.
I was like that as well. I just, obviously I told my mum first because I know my dad, he just wants me to do so well.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I just didn't want to disappoint him.
Yeah, yeah.
But obviously looking back at him, like, so he's never going to be disappointed.
Mm-hmm. You just almost don't want to like have them not be happy. And like just
because it's obviously going to dampen his mood
mm-hmm.
for a while as well. So, because they used to go everywhere and watch. So,
yeah, I did the same. I literally at dinner, I didn't say at dinner because, same thing. But then my mom was like, something's wrong. Like something's off. Like he was quiet at dinner. Yeah. He's not laughing. He's not making stupid jokes. Something's off. And then at brunch the next day, I think my mom pulled me aside. It was like, what's going on? And I just was like, I think I did it again. Like I think I have another sports hernia. Yeah. She's like, no.
I think they were my words. I was like, I've done it again. Because well, technically I didn't tell my parents I went for a scan or got injured.
Really?
And then I remember I sat on the sofa. I said, Mum, I've done it again. Just like that. And my dad wasn't there at the time. And then I think it was just quiet when he got in and he was like, what's going on? And then I just said, I've done it again. I think they broke down even more than I did at the time, just because they felt so bad for me.
Yeah. That's shit, man. Honestly, I wouldn't wish that those moments on anybody. Like it's just the worst. Now flipping, what has been the absolute best moment of your career? The highest high you've ever experienced?
Highest high. There's been a lot.
That's good. First goal, first contract.
They're definitely up there. First call up to England.
Yeah.
Scoring 2 goals against you last year. I probably have to say first contract. I think
first contract.
Yeah. Like that was the beginning of the story so far.
That makes sense. Yeah, that's I think the biggest moment of most people's career is that first contract. It's just so many emotions. I had a big sense of relief it was almost more of like, oh my God, I finally got it.
Yeah.
And because I'd signed my first one at 22, I think.
Okay.
So I was older in the grand scheme of things. So I was like, and I had dropped out of college a year and a half early and had been on so many trials that didn't work. So I had this huge sense of like a weight off my shoulders. Like I finally got it.
Yeah.
And then immediately of just like, okay, I have training tomorrow. Like I'm trying to get in the starting lineup. Yeah. So it was really weird. Mixed also with like, oh my God, I did it. I'm so excited.
Yeah. There's so much go through your mind and your body at that time. Yeah.
It's just so exciting. That's cool. And then I think for the final question of the podcast, a lot of people follow this. A lot of kids follow it and want to be in your shoes, want to sign pro contracts, want to score goals. All that. What advice would you have to them or to your younger self to either help you become a pro or help you in moments that you think, like even the lowest low moments that you've had?
Firstly, always enjoy it. There's going to be ups and downs, and you just got to never get too high and never get too low, kind of thing. Just kind of be level-headed and take each day as it comes and do whatever you can in that day just to get better, kind of thing.
I like it. Yeah, because I talk all the time in my videos. Like I say, it is a roller coaster. Like your career, you could be like here, and then up and down. And if you get too high or too low on it, like it can mess with you a lot. So it's like, know that when you're having the best moments, best days of your career, or whatever, that things can flip really fast. And that's not to say don't enjoy them, but like be level-headed. Know that you've done a lot of work and a lot of sacrifice to get there. And then on the super lows, realize that it's fleeting. That you're going to come back up. Just sucks right now. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah, it was like last year, but like it took me a while to score my first goal. And then once I was there, I was like, done it.
Yeah.
I know I can do it still.
Yeah. Who's your first goal in the USL against?
I scored 2 against Hartford last year.
At Hartford?
At Hartford.
but not on me.
Yeah. Was you playing? I can't remember.
At Hartford, I was playing.
No, you was playing because I watched your video of every touch.
Yeah. How'd I do?
I think you done all right.
Yeah.
I think you played
right back.
No, you played centre mid and then went to right back.
That's
think.
right. Yep. Yes. Yeah. I played centre mid that game. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was a good centre mid. I'm wasted at right back.
Wasted.
I should be playing striker. I'm going to talk to Danny and Trevor.
Conversations to be had.
No, my finishing is it's a lot to be desired.
Left foot finishing, no.
It's good.
Good.
I had that day. Oh my God.
The other day?
Yeah. I had a day that just like I was just on. Every time I struck the ball with the left foot, it was curling upper V.
Just know he was running around celebrating.
Yeah, don't get too high on the highs, man.
He was so high.
I was just running around, knees sliding. Well, Ben, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. I really appreciate it. Thank you for telling me your story and everything.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, man. Anything else? Any last words?
I'm not going to say anything else. No.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you. I appreciate it.